Is Hot Girl Summer still happening this year?
How many carbs are in a White Claw?
If I squat every day, will I get a dump truck?
I'm Shai.
I'm Leah.
We are Two Tone Training.
You're listening to Don't Tone Alone. Bra pad gate is real.
Bra pad gate? What do you mean?
So this morning I went to go teach. Shay and I do like a back-to-back class at Equinox. So I teach Tabata. Shay teaches her run class.
It's Two Tone Tuesdays. Like now it's just such a it's taken world. It's
Bro,
gone
do you have a frog in your throat?
It's gone worldwide. And by that I mean to Chestnut Hill Equinox.
To the Chestnut Hill suburban moms.
Yeah.
Basically worldwide. No, but I went to go teach this morning and I'm like demoing the first two exercises, and all of a sudden I look in the mirror and I see like one of my nips showing like through my shirt and the other one wasn't. And then like I kind of did like the boob grab, like the subtle boob grab.
Like right when like you're missing your phone and you do, like
the keys, wallet, like mask.
And you're like, I'm confused why I only have like
and
one
I'm like only
tit.
one perky teat this morning, and the other one was like a little more saggy, and I was like, oh. That's the most annoying thing in the world.
I feel like you can't use the word saggy when you have bug bites.
I literally have bug bites, so there's not much that's sagging, but I could see like one nip kind of poking through, and I was like, this is so uncomfortable. But that is the worst thing ever, when you put your bra through the wash and then it comes out and you're missing bra pads, or it's like all disheveled in there.
Yeah, that's the trouble I usually face, is like kind of like evening it out. But actually, outfit malfunctions that annoy me the most, one is just like the swass. And my friend Katie was trying to tell me that you don't get swass if you wear underwear. She's like, this is why you should wear underwear with your leggings. And I'm like, that is definitely not a thing.
I don't want to
like you can't tell me that my G-string is going to protect me from getting
from the
swass.
pool of sweat coming from your butt crack.
There is just no way.
No. And then the other outfit malfunction that I truly hate are the onesies that are too short for your torso. I feel like I have a normal size torso, and it's always hiked up my
normal
machine.
Size torso, but then it makes you feel like you have like big ass vagina lips because it gives you the most insane wedgie, right?
It's not even 10:30 a.m. on a Tuesday and you're talking about vagina lips. Like, calm down. Settle down, Shay.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
What other outfit malfunctions are annoying?
Well, also the dumbbells I think always get dirty. So I teach actually a triple on Thursdays, and by class number 2, my outfit is already like I have swass, I have stains everywhere. It's just people are like, what happened to you?
No, you literally stain things that I didn't even think could be stained.
Like the ankle weights.
The leather ankle weights. You're like, I stained them. I'm like, how?
Yeah, people are like, wait, what? Ankle weights?
That's such a toxic trait for you.
And I yesterday were prepping for our weighted hot girl walk club that we are launching this coming Tuesday. So actually, when you listen to this podcast, you can
stop
still
it, pause it right here.
Right.
And then go sign up.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about what we're doing, because obviously we got to plug it. So if you're in the Boston area, or you are willing to travel somehow to the Boston area, it is worth your efforts, because we are doing a next level hot girl walk. We're calling it Sip and Strut. So in collaboration with the Boston Food List, if you don't follow Marwa on Instagram, who is said woman behind the Boston Food List,
yes,
she posts about all things like cool when it comes to Boston. So
like what to eat, what the vibe's like.
Cool events, like what to do when people are visiting, or like where to go for your birthday party, all things she has the list for. So she comped the spot, we comped the workout, and together we are just an unstoppable
the collab
force
of the century, if you will. So you're going to meet at PKL in Southie. So if you are like, what is PKL? It's pickleball. Mm-hmm. Pickleball is like a combination of,
but it's like a pickleball like lounge, if
right?
You will. Like,
it's a very
shuffleboard. There's a whole bar. There's a lounge area.
There's cornhole.
Just so much you can do.
Yeah, but pickleball, for those of you who don't know, is a combination of badminton and table tennis, and you play it with a wiffle ball. So I think anyone who's not even all that coordinated can hit a ball back and forth. If Shai can hit the ball back and forth a few times, you can do it too.
That sets like the standard.
Yeah.
It's like the very lowest bar. If Shai can do it, then you definitely are fine.
And I feel like you're going to find a way to stay in the pickleball.
Probably.
And the paddle. You'll find a way.
Yeah.
Definitely. I believe in you. So we'll meet at PKL, and then the first 50 people to sign up are going to get these sexy ankle weights.
Who knew ankle weights could be so sexy? I opened the box and I was like, oh my God, they are rose gold. They are just next level. They're from Equipped Movement, and it's an aesthetic in itself. Who knew?
An aesthetic.
An aesthetic.
An aesthetic.
I just feel like I couldn't use the word vibe anymore.
No, we had to transition to aesthetic. And after you get your ankle weights, we will proceed with a 2-mile walk around Southie, and then we'll meet back at PKL. You'll get bites, you'll get drinks. High Noon is giving out some drinks, and then you can play all the games. So it's just a fun way to meet new people in the Boston area, play some games, get a little competitive. I know I need to like dial down my competitive nature so I don't scare people away.
All participants away.
Yeah.
But speaking of this event happening next Tuesday, Leah and I decided that we need to obviously like film some kind of promo video. So yesterday we look outside and I'm like, we definitely need to film some kind of like walking so people can see the ankle weights, can envision what they'll be doing. But of course it's like pouring rain. So we try to shoot it in our apartment building, and let me tell you, talk about the aesthetic.
The aesthetic was not there.
Not there. I'm like trying to move like trash cans out of the way. Nothing is painted. They
haven't updated our apartment building since like 06.
The 06, that's being like really fucking generous.
98.
Yeah, like the carpet is from like, it's like a shag carpet. Like it still smells like a nursing home in there. Like it's just,
our apartment itself is actually very vibey, I would say. We did a good job decorating, and by we I mean mostly you.
Yeah.
But when you walk in, the entryway is just not it.
True or false, when you move somewhere new, I've decided that you have to decorate within like a 1 month span, or else it's never getting decorated. We've all been into those apartments, right? You move in and then it's like 2 years later and you're like, oh, I just like didn't think I'd be here for long. And you don't make like, you don't purchase anything. Like I have so many friends, especially who live in New York, and they're like, I just really didn't think I'd be here for long. And like now I'm still using my like move-in boxes, my U-Haul boxes as my coffee table.
Funny how that works out. That actually reminds me of Walgreens Gate, when we couldn't get Photo Gate. There's a lot of gates going on.
Yep.
Shai and I picked out these very vibey.
I feel like we're like incriminating ourselves here.
We are. So no one show this to the Walgreens staff. So we picked out these photos, and like one is this blonde girl. She's in like this onesie and she's like kneeled over. You can't really see her face. And then
it's funny because when we're on Zoom calls, they pretty much look like nude photos.
Yeah,
they're always like trying to like duck and hide and like crop the nude woman out of the photo.
I know. But we went to go print these photos out, and the woman at Walgreens took her job just a little bit too seriously and would not give. I think my mom was going to pick it up for us, because you know how like when you move and all your prescriptions go to your home, like my pharmacy,
my mail still goes to our parents
all the time.
I have not forwarded. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it go.
They're like, you moved out, but all your stuff is here. All your mail goes here. Did you really move out?
No,
we didn't. And she went to go pick up these photos, and the Walgreens lady was like, do you have a signature
from the photographer
for these? And Karen's like going Karen on their ass, like, what?
Like, let me speak to your manager.
She's like, I am the manager. She's like, oh. And she would not give her the photos. So we had to go back in and like Shai.
I was like, that is me. That is said nude model.
Yeah. She's like, can you strike that pose like again? I need like to make sure. Yeah, it aligns. And I don't know how you ended up getting them.
Because she believed it was me in the handstand.
Duh.
Oh
my God. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. But we'll show you guys a behind the scenes tour if you haven't seen our cribs, or if you go into any of like our old IG lives, you can kind of see like probably like a cropped butt cheek in in the frame.
That also brings me to one more topic about moving and homes. Shay and our lease is up on November 1st, and we have zero idea what we're doing.
So if you know,
if you want to take us in,
we will be homeless. We'll be carrying around our LED mats around Boston looking for a new home. So now putting a listing out. So it's two-toned. We can bring the work. We can do at-home workouts.
We can do, yeah.
We bring a lot to the table, honestly, as roommates. We bring a lot.
We have 3 forks to our name.
But speaking of leases, who knew? I lived in New York City for like 8 years, so I feel like I don't know much about cars. I got home the other day and I even posted on my Instagram. I was like, I keep getting parking tickets. Like, what the hell? And I'm like paying on the Park Boston app. I'm paying and I'm like, what the heck? And all it's saying on the ticket is expired. So I've had to fight like 5 tickets within the past 3 weeks. Like, it's actually gotten out of control. So I was like on the hunt for any cop nearby. And like, I was about to take it to the next level. I don't know what that means.
What is the next level? Whoa. We're all scared.
Yeah, I'm playing Jack in front of your ass. I don't know. But come to find out, I don't know how I put 2 and 2. I finally got an email because I wrote like a nasty thing. Like, you have a comment section when you can like fight the parking ticket. And I was like,
I wrote like a 5-paragraph email to like Park Boston.
Over this, I'm about to leave the state of Massachusetts because of the amount of parking
like,
tickets.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, Karen.
Literally.
Karen
like,
Jr. And they reply and they're like, ma'am, your sticker on your license plate is like way overdue. And I was like, what? Like, I put my new registration in the glove compartment. And come to find out, who knew? You have to put the sticker on your license plate.
I didn't know that.
I remember specifically you getting this in the mail. I was like, Shay, do not forget to put the sticker on your license plate. Like I'm your mother or something. And you clearly just ignored me.
Of course. So then after I get that email, I'm like fuming out the ears. And I send Dad one of those voice memos. And I was like, the nerve of you not to tell me.
Oh, it's all our dad's fault.
Yeah, because I just... like, he's the one who like helps with the oil changes. Like, he's supposed to be the man of the house. And how would you not tell me that I need to put the sticker
I told you. Let me tell you. I told you.
I didn't hear it.
I'm usually all for like throwing Dad under the bus, but this is your fault.
All right, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
But safe to say, a new sticker is on, so hopefully that's the end of parking ticket gate.
But I don't know. It was a interesting 2 weeks.
I know you were in Maine. I was in the Cape, so this is really the first time that we are getting to hang out, catch up.
Yeah. No, I've been traveling a lot.
And then you're headed to New York this weekend, so like, what am I gonna do?
I don't know. Yeah, no, we've both been traveling a lot. And I feel like that's kind of what summer is for, just like all the trips and things. But traveling is tiring. Like, I hate packing and just feeling
like I don't feel bad.
No,
for you.
I mean, obviously lucky to be able to travel, but like, I hate packing something and feeling so restricted. Like, what if I'm in the mood to wear something else? Like, I only have these options.
Or you just feel so disheveled, kind of.
Yeah, I have such a routine. I have like my hydration sticks that I always have. Like, I have all my supplements, my meals. And when I'm traveling, I just feel like out of routine and out of whack. Next topic. But yeah, so we were in Maine together. Then I went to, in the middle of the week, where did I go? No. Then I went back to Maine. I refed some ping pong before then, and you went to the Cape.
Yep, I went to the Cape. Cape was a good time. Came back. In the Cape, I spent a few days with some girlfriends. We lived it up, got some spicy margs. It was a time.
It was just like
I've been to the Cape more this summer than I've ever been in my entire life.
I know. I feel like you haven't even told our listeners about your little side hustle.
My side hustle. I've been doing this rosé type marketing. So your girl loves some rosé, and it's funny with this job, with the side hustle, I've had to get really comfortable like sitting at the bar alone, but I've come to love it.
So what exactly is your title and what is your job description?
So I'm a brand ambassador for a rosé company. We're going to be doing some pop-up and collab events throughout the summer. So
Fleur-de-mer. It's literally called Fleur-de-mer, but like we always say Fleur-de-mer.
Fleur-de-mer. They're like, it definitely is French, and that I don't know what that sounds like. But yeah, I've had to get really really comfortable like sitting at the bar alone. My job is to pretty much support a lot of the accounts that carry the product, but it's such a cool gig. It's such a great way to just like network, meet new people, try out new venues throughout the Boston area. So now you guys can truly trust us when it comes to finding the hot spots, the cool things to do, the cool places to go, the cool things to eat. Last week I was on Moody Street, and if you guys haven't been to Moody Street in Waltham, it's a cool vibe, especially if you're not looking to go like into the city.
Right.
There's so many just like during the nice weather, they'll set up like picnic tables outside. This one restaurant does this whole like floral like display, and yeah, no, it's a good time. I've eaten like the best I've ever eaten. So if I put on a little extra poundage, that's okay.
That's all right.
Honestly, that takes us into, I feel like our topic for today is getting like kind of comfortable talking about weight and just what that journey looks like. And it's okay to kind of like go up on the scale, go down the scale. And if you're someone who stays consistent with weight and doesn't go up or down in pounds, like that's not realistic.
It's not. Yeah. I think Shai and I have both been somewhat open about our weight loss journeys, but we haven't really dove deep. And part of having like a platform, obviously, is being vulnerable and being able to open up about that stuff. So, I mean, I know that I certainly am in the best shape that I've been in ever post college. And that's talking about someone who I played 2 sports and I was still a lot like heavier than I am now.
Yeah. And I remember that, no pun intended, but like weighing on you literally, like mentally and physically.
Yeah. I remember going into college, I was planning to play basketball, and my basketball captain was also the lacrosse captain. So she bamboozled me into playing both. And
it's funny, even like hearing you talk about this journey, like after the fact, because I just remember like growing up and I just always felt that Leah never had to like worry about what she was eating, and I can like see that. I remember, and especially when you're so close with your sister in age, it's hard not to play the comparison game.
Yeah.
Especially now, like we lean so much into the like the
twin
aspect of twin thing. So of course, then the first thing and fitness professionals, the first thing you're looking at is, oh my god, like how like is she skinnier than me, or like what are the differentials? And I feel like people are looking at weight, and it's
No, I think
maybe we are more than other people are.
How do you deal with that now? And like, we'll circle back. Like, do you like have you ever had comments of someone being like, "Oh, your sister's like,"
they won't say necessarily like, "Oh, like you're heavier than your sister," but I feel like they'll like hype. They're like, "Oh my god, well Leah has like washboard abs," and like it's clearly they're saying it to a fact, and then it's hard not to be like,
"Well, why didn't you say that
about me?" And you know that I work out just as hard and I do that for a living as well, so it's hard not to like take offense to that. And I know that's not necessarily what people mean by it, but
I'm sure that's so not easy.
that they're complimenting you, and I know how much work you put into it, but it is hard to not kind of take it to heart sometimes.
I mean,
and especially as someone who grew up heavier. But I mean, I don't want to take away from you, and I think you should go into
look at us having like a moment right now. No, you. Well, Shai and I always have this playful banter about us, and like we pretend that we're competitive because we are when it comes to workouts. Of course, like I want to get more squats than
I'd rather my legs be amputated than you do an extra burpee than me.
Exactly. But when it comes down to it, we're both each other's biggest cheerleader. Definitely. And we want to see each other happy and feeling your best and doing your best. So I can imagine that comments like that are not easy. And I think even for me, like when we're doing workouts, like the raw realness right now is like sometimes on those cardio moves, I do feel like you surpassed me, and I'm like, shoot, like is she in better shape than me? Like do I need to step it up? And I think people do that with friends too. If they don't have a sister that they're very close with, it's easy to play that comparison game with your friends.
Oh, definitely. And I remember like growing up, and I think all my friends, especially in high school, were fairly thin, and I remember like going to the beach with friends, and that would be like a dreaded moment for me. Like I remember having to like go bathing suit shopping with mom, and I feel like mom, like obviously you rely on your family for being like brutally honest with you, and I think I remember like her being brutally honest, like
Karen is brutally honest.
So brutally
she doesn't
honest,
hold back ever.
Right, like that doesn't look good on you, and it wasn't coming from a mean place. Like she definitely just wanted me to like look and feel my best, or like maybe you should try this one instead, type of thing. And I think that's how I would guide you if you tried on an outfit that wasn't necessarily the most flattering. I'd be like, oh, well, why don't you think about this one? But of course, as someone who
was already self-conscious,
with my weight and very self-conscious, that's a hard thing to do.
And then I think it's easy too to take out your anger and insecurity on that person that's giving you that feedback.
Definitely. No, I can't
and push them away.
It built up some resentment, and it would come out in other ways, not necessarily just from like the weight stuff. It would just come out in other ways.
Are there any particular moments that you can remember in high school when you started to when did you start to realize like, hey, I look different than my friends?
I don't know if there was like a turning moment. I think I just like it was always kind of like in the front of my mind. I was kind of just like, especially during the summer, I think that was a big thing. And I think when it came to even trying on like prom dresses or cotillion dresses and being like, oh my gosh, like I can't wear that, or I don't know who's going to ask me because I look this way. I remember like actually feeling like that.
Yeah. And what did you do to combat that?
I think my sense of humor was something that I'd always almost used to like mask maybe some of my insecurities, like by being like, at first growing up, I'd be really shy, but then I think I turned.
You were.
To,
it was
like,
so funny when we were younger. You were so shy.
Where it was like almost like, oh, my sense of humor will kind of just like combat that. Like everyone wants to be around like the funny girl, you know?
Well, yeah, I feel like that is. We discussed this. We need to stop saying I feel like, just matter of fact, but it's always the funny fat person. Right.
I know we talked about the other week that like when
Rebel Wilson, they were questioning her.
They're like, you can't lose weight because that's what you built your career on. Right.
So you started to play into the humor.
And then I don't know, like I just didn't know much about nutrition. Like, you know, we grew up when you come home and like in our cabinets, there's Pop-Tarts. There's the joke is the Dowdies always have a cookie cake in their cabinet. So
we have like Sour Patch cereal. We have, and the running joke in the family is my brother has the palate of a 6-year-old. So my mom always buys these things and she's like, oh, it's for Chad. Like, oh, this is for Chad. And then we all eat it.
Well, and I think the funny thing about Chad too is he does have like a fast metabolism, but also even though he doesn't always eat the healthiest, he doesn't eat much of it. And I think it was like a really hard thing for me to portion control, even to this day, and especially with
our dad's the same way
like,
too.
I like to eat in bulk, but now it's definitely like retraining my mind to like, okay, eat in bulk, but like healthier choices when I do eat in bulk, like filling up on some of the more like healthy options. And that's something that I think has helped me significantly when it comes to just eating. But yeah, no, I just think that's so that came a lot later.
Right. Yeah. So you play into the humor, you're feeling a little bit more confident about yourself. Then you go to college.
Then I go to college, and it's funny. I remember coming back from college after my first year, and I started to get people being like, oh my God, like you definitely lost some weight. And like, it was just like a lot of like positive like feedback. And I remember that making me feel like really good. And to be honest, like I don't think it was really on purpose. I think when you move to New York City and you are walking around so much and you just are naturally more active. Like I was walking more than I had ever been. I believe I did start to take some classes like here and there. But then once people start to say that and I was like, oh my God, like maybe I can do this. I think that's what fuels the passion is when you start to like kind of like see results. You're like, okay, so now what can I do to like take this to like the next level? And that's when I started, like I went back to school that year and I really did start taking a lot of like the group fitness offerings there. And I mean, it just becomes like almost an addicting feeling. You're like, oh my God, like
like you hit one goal and then you set a new one and then you hit that and then but then it can start to turn into like a dangerous addiction. Like, did you ever feel yourself going the other way?
Yeah, no, I remember there was, I shared it and we'll have to share it again, especially when we share this, is like it's really hard to reach that sense of like feeling so confident, so perfect. And I don't even think I'm there yet. Like I could critique myself to the nth degree, but I definitely experienced like getting even like almost scary skinny to one point. I remember I like it became so addicting that I like cut out carbs completely. I was getting really
I remember
anal.
You came home for a holiday and it's such a touchy and sensitive subject, but I remember being concerned about you and just thinking, wow, she's very thin and I want to make sure whatever she's doing in a healthy way.
Yeah, but it definitely, you get to a point in like mentally, especially as a girl in college where you're at fashion school and everyone is so obsessed with the way they look and having the best clothes and having the best appearance, and you're going out to like clubs in New York City and it totally is all appearance based. So of
it's
course
even
that's like
like
an addicting
the
feeling.
promoters are like, can you send me a photo of the girls that you're bringing? And if you're the fat friend, they're saying, hey, don't bring her.
Right.
Which is so sad and so
I remember
shallow.
like getting those texts, and it's just like it's
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. It's a horrible feeling.
I mean, someone can compliment you 10 times, but that 11th person to say something negative about you, like those are obviously the things that stick with you.
Yeah, and I mean it's hard too, like to then want to change your habits, and even though my habits are unhealthy, it's almost an addicting feeling to feel like, oh my god, like my life has changed, like I'm now like
in control.
I'm the cool girl, like I have the best clothes, I'm in really good shape, like
right.
My life has totally changed. And at that point, it wasn't necessarily in a healthy way.
Right. So then how did you make the transition from being really skinny to, I think right now you are the strongest you've been.
Yeah. So
and healthiest.
Yeah. I can't say I'm like, oh, the skinniest I've ever been, but I definitely feel like I'm in the best place mentally and physically.
Right. Because skinny doesn't necessarily mean healthy.
Right. I think I got to a point during... it was after I graduated and I started taking a ton of group fitness classes, and this is where I really found my passion for group fitness and wanting to become a trainer. But I started to realize that I couldn't kind of keep up with the amount that I was working out. Like I was getting like really fatigued and exhausted. Like I didn't have energy.
Yeah.
And it's because I wasn't feeling my body in
you weren't eating
the
carbs
right way.
Yeah. I think you were scared, like you would come home late from a class and
I just
like,
remember
I don't want to eat late
before bed, or
you just wouldn't eat and you'd go to bed.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, it's okay, I'm hungry, but whatever. Like, I'll eat in
like
the morning.
I know they tell you not to eat late at night, but I promise you, if you worked out, your body needs to refuel. It's better to eat than to go to bed starving your body.
Need a massive meal, but just being able to like replenish so that you're waking up feeling refreshed and not so fatigued.
It's like it's like a workout hangover almost.
But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like you can relate as far as just like dealing with body dysmorphia to some degree, and especially during college.
Yeah, no, I mean, my journey is maybe a little quote unquote less than yours because I was never quite as heavy as you were, just like calling a spade. But I do remember that when I went into college, I put on that freshman 15 because I had come from a household where there was always a cookie cake. Yeah. There was always 10 sodas.
And I also don't think you ever had to think about it.
And I never had to think about it. And that's where I see a lot of people running into trouble, is that your metabolism, all of a sudden you turn like 21 and your metabolism just starts
like,
slowing
that went
down
straight to my hips.
And even those girls that like were really skinny and thin in high school, all of a sudden they're like, oh shoot, like I actually have to watch what I eat now, and I actually have to be cautious of my fitness and all of it. So I remember gaining the freshman 15, and same as you, I was looking around and I went in as a point guard. And I mean, no matter what division you are in college sports, there's a lot of fit people around. And I looked at the girl that was getting more playing time than me. She was skinny. She was so lean. Yeah. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me feel really bad about myself. Like I went from being this high school superstar to walking on the court and practicing and not seeing like a minute of playing time my freshman year, or like I'd get thrown in the last 30 seconds. And it was such a shot to my ego. So after that year, I like I said, looked around and I just saw that so many people are fit. And it was just, I knew that if I was more fit, I'd be more confident in all aspects and I'd be able to be a better player too. So I set it out as my mission after freshman year, like I'm going to get in shape. And I really took control of my nutrition.
It's a hard thing to do though, especially when you are in college and you're going out, you're drinking, and you're surrounded by friends who maybe haven't hit the point yet, who have to really count calories or worry about it, and they're ordering Domino's at 2 a.m.
my God.
And you have to be
you're
that person
drunk.
who says no.
And it's almost like a reverse culture where you get made fun of for being the healthy person.
Yeah.
like all my friends would give me crap and I love them. And I think a lot of people don't even realize this. And sometimes I do take the time to point it out that it really can go both ways. People say, you know, fitness people shame bigger people for making unhealthy choices. It goes right back. Like unhealthy people.
Yeah. Like I can't believe you're not drinking today or you're really
yeah. What are you going to have, a salad? Like it makes me feel uncomfortable too when people do that. So I had to make a lot of those hard decisions and just really stick to my guns and be like, you know what? This is what's making me feel good. This is my choice. But I did make a lot of positive changes, subbing out more nutritious meals and just being more active, using my strength and conditioning coaches that I had, just asking them for advice. What can I do? I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast has a friend who's a trainer that they can ask.
Oh, and when you ask those people, they're so flattered. Like when
they're so
me,
happy.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh my God, you chose me. But just like you, I think so then I lost the weight and then I remember COVID. I was so thin.
It was
wild. Scary.
You could actually like snap her in half.
No, and it was so scary. And I started to get comments too of like, are you okay? Like, does Leah have some sort of eating disorder? And I remember being approached by my friends who, again, just felt nothing but like care and compassion for me and wanted to help me. But those conversations made me feel awful. And I mean, I didn't think I had a problem. We were working out so much for Two Toned. We were
at
doing
any
like,
point, like, were you like, are they jealous? Or did you actually look in yourself? Were you able to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh, I'm too skinny? Or that didn't even cross your mind?
No, it did. I think at first, like, you're defensive right off the bat. You're like, what are you talking about? Yeah. Like, are you just mad? I mean, I think a lot of people gained weight during COVID. And
right. And you're just mad.
You're just mad that I like lost weight during COVID and whatever.
Like, no.
And then I did start to look at myself in the mirror and I wasn't liking what I was seeing back. I was the thinnest I've ever been.
And when you get to that point too, it almost becomes hard. You think, oh, when I'm so skinny, it'll be so easy to find clothes, but then things just like almost
don't look good,
hang on you, and
right?
You're like, wait, okay,
yeah. And at that point, I did start to assess myself. I think during that time we decided we were gonna not eat meat too, so that didn't help. We weren't really getting a lot of protein, and I was just thin.
I think we start to realize after we're like, oh, there's really not that much protein in a veggie burger. And I mean, shout out to all the people who are able to kind of like fuel themselves on like
plant-based
diet, but it is a lot more challenging.
It really is. So I noticed some unhealthy things in myself. Like I would look at food and be like, oh, I can't have that. Like that has too many carbs in it, you know? And it's sometimes you don't realize until someone points it out to you. So I don't know. Right now, I want to say, like, if you're a friend and you do have concerns, obviously approach that conversation lightly with whoever you think may be struggling with something. But I can promise you it'll mean a lot to them. Maybe not in the moment, but in the long run, if you do step up and say something like,
yeah. And I don't know. It's a very hard thing.
You
need to tread lightly and maybe rely on family to kind of like take some of those conversations just because, like you don't want to give someone too much positive reinforcement if they are doing like unhealthy habits,
right. Like I remember one of my friends who, recently lost a lot of weight and I was like, oh my God, you look so good. And she's like, well, I'm really stressed and I'm not eating. So really just being cautious about those comments.
Yeah. What people are going through. And
And I mean, I would also want to touch on just like the post athlete and the post high school and college kind of depression and that everyone does go through. I've talked to so many former athletes and teammates that just say like, I don't know where to go from here. I always had routine. I always had someone telling me what to do. And now I kind of resent it. And now I feel like, those athletes are taking back control of like, well, now I get to decide what to do and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be weird if you didn't go through any kind of lull, but now it's figuring out what routine works for you and hopefully finding something that's sustainable. That's the whole thing about having like a healthy lifestyle, is finding what is sustainable. Like some of those crash diets, like, it's a quick fix and maybe you will lose that extra 10 pounds that you've been looking to lose before summer, but
what are you going to be able to hold on to?
Right. And what are you going to enjoy? Because eating should be fun. You should look forward to going out to eat with your friends. You should look forward to your meals. You should look forward to hopefully your workouts as well. And that's what we're really trying to do, is not to say you have to snatch 300 pounds above your head, and you can still do things that get your heart rate up, keep you active without just totally destroying your body.
Yeah. Like right now you have a blank canvas, and you decide what you can do with it. It doesn't have to be so extreme. So start figuring out what does bring you joy and make you happy.
Yeah. And my biggest tip, I would say, is making just small changes at first versus trying to do it all overnight, right? That's where you get into trouble, and it's easy to get so discouraged. Like I remember being heavier and looking at some of these fitness things and being like, all right, well, from here on out, I am running.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. You strap on your shoes, you go out the door, and you're like, all right, they said I have to run 5 miles if I want to be in good shape, so I'm going to do it. And you run outside, and I get down the street, and I'm fucking gassed. And I'm like, this is not going well. This is not going according to plan. But Instagram,
they didn't warn me about this.
Instagram Sally, who snatched, says 5 miles a day. So I'm just confused. Right?
And 10 sit-ups, and then carry the 2, carry the 1, you have an 8-pack.
Right. So it's scaling for life. It's doing small steps. So what can you do today that will make tomorrow a little bit easier, and how can you slowly start to kind of progress your routine? So maybe it's okay, I'm going to start going to the gym and whatever 2 days a week just to start, especially if you're going from someone who doesn't do any activity anytime. You cannot start then at 7 days a week. I remember saying this to my ex-boyfriend too. He hated working out, and he's like, well, I don't want to work out 7 dagirls a week. And I'm like, you don't have to. I get that's my thing, but just for your heart,
start with 2.
Just going for a walk 2 days a week.
A hot girl walk.
A hot girl walk. I have ankle weights for you too.
He's like, you can take those ankle weights.
Yeah, I'll tell you what to do with them.
I'm glad that people got to know us a little bit better. Got to dive into our stories.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know what you guys are doing to spice up your routine. We can always use suggestions as well.
Yeah. Is there any other I don't know, something you would say to yourself when you were bigger, some other piece of advice that maybe you'd give, or is it kind of like one day at a time, one new habit at a time?
One new habit at a time, and cut yourself some slack, I think. And I know we are our own worst critics. So I wish that Shai in high school wasn't so hard on herself. I remember just wishing I looked different. I remember going to bed and being like, oh my God, I hate myself, or thinking those things. And I just wish that people going through that just know that you're not alone, you know?
Yeah. I would say surround yourself with people that give you the space to make the changes that make you feel good. They don't shame you for it, and they are your biggest cheerleaders no matter what journey you're deciding to take next. So
try to hype yourself up.
Try to be your biggest cheerleader. Positive affirmations, they're real.
True that. I feel like we have a little bit of a game. Totally changing the mode.
Yeah, totally changing the mode. My flannel is to the side over there.
Oh, you're ready. We're going apple picking after this?
Yeah.
I'm sad that summer's over. I cannot believe that.
You know what?
When people are saying, oh, my kids are going back to school, and I'm teaching the Chestnut Hill moms. I'm like, oh my God, don't even say that. That's
but
a
it's
curse
been
word.
I kind of I'm kind of ready. I never say
leather
this.
Jackets, a fall fashion.
Yeah, I never say this, but I'm ready. I'm sick of being sweaty.
Yeah, I'm sick of you being sweaty too. You stank, girl.
All right, so our game this morning is baddie or basic fall edition. So
I already had my first pump of pumpkin.
My first pump of pumpkin.
That's when fall. I was gonna say fall has sprung. What would you say? Spring has sprung. But what do you say? Fall has fallen. I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, here we go.
All right, first one. Jean jackets, basic or baddie? 3, 2, 1. Baddie.
Baddie. I really.
You stuttered
because when I think of a jean jacket, I think of I don't know, you're Chico's or you're Talbot's jean jacket, but jean jackets now I feel are so swaggy.
I think the oversized ones too.
Yeah, tight jean jackets, basic, get rid of them, purge your closet
with the bedazzled star
on your chest.
Pumpkin coffee, basic or baddie? 3, 2, 1. Baddie.
love me some pumpkin.
Yeah.
Anything pumpkin.
Anything pumpkin.
Run to Trader Joe's now. Stock up on September 1. I will have every single item on the shelf.
Basic or baddie? Pumpkin beer. 3, 2, 1. Baddie.
I don't like beer, so I'm going to say basic.
Basic,
I just,
yeah.
like, don't really care for it.
With the cinnamon rim.
I mean, if I'm going to have beer, then I guess it would be that one, but
yeah. Apple picking photo in your flannel. 3, 2, 1. Basic.
Yeah. No,
yeah, we've seen it. We get it. It's fall. You're going apple picking.
2000.
Yeah. Apple picking couple pics. 3, 2, 1. Basic.
They could be cute, baddie. I'm a sucker for a good romantic photo.
Oh, God. Eye roll.
Everyone's like unfollowing you.
Unfollow. Slutty Halloween costumes. 3, 2, 1. Basic.
I panicked. Yeah, basic.
I think cool and edgy is
fine. But
if
you're wearing
if your tatas are out,
yeah, if you're pulling a Leah with the nip slip this morning, like it's just it's too much.
It's too much. And then that was kind of it. Like how much is too much to spend on Halloween decor?
I used to be so into it, and you and I. It's hard to be like tasteful, right? Without like going overboard,
right?
Or not spending a lot. Halloween decorations are expensive.
They're really expensive.
I remember we even tried to go all out for the holidays, and we ended up with like a Charlie Brown tree, like for Christmas. It just was not cute.
Yeah, no, I like a few pumpkins here and there,
that
but
you can put in
relax.
a box. If you can't fit your decorations into a box that you can store away for next year, you've gone
too far.
You need to reel it in.
Reel it the F in.
That is a great piece of advice. If you can't fit in a box.
Words to live by.
Yep.
By Shai Dowdy.
Yep. And with that,
you can tone from home.
You can tone from your phone.
But all we ask is that you don't tone alone. Bye, guys.